Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today on, but it's Thursday, right? Thursday. The 2nd of January 2020. Can you believe that already? It's insane. So, thank you for joining me live. Let me wait for some people to come on in. Make sure that if you hear me, give me some hearts up, some thumbs up. I'm going to make sure we are streaming where we need to stream. So let me make sure we are where we're supposed to be before we get started. I think today you guys are going to really like my topic. Let me make sure we are working, which we should be. Let me check and make sure. People should be arriving in, slowly coming in to my page. Thank you for joining me live. And we're just waiting for it to refresh. Yep, we are good, I believe. Let me make sure. I think we're good. I think we're good. Technology sometimes is not my favorite thing. But I think we are. There we go. Now it showed up. Perfect. So everybody is live. All right, so I believe we are good to go. So thank you for joining me live on the page. Madam Z Tarot here today with you. And welcome to my page. We got lots of stuff to talk about for 2020. I want to talk to you about what has been going on in the business, some massive shifts going on. And if you are here, make sure you give me some hearts up, some thumbs up. You're watching the replay. I'm still going to give you lots of replay hugs and loves. So if you want me to comment on any of your comments or reply to any of your comments, make sure you type them in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So let me do some introductions really super fast, and then we'll get right into what we want to talk about, which you can see is we're going to be talking about how to get your magic back, your mojo magic, right? So Madam Z here. I'm a female empowerment leader and a magical life coach, and I empower women coming out of the broom closet. And my tagline is Magic, Empowerment, and Transformation. So you are in the right place if you want to learn everything magical. You want to empower yourself. You want to become powerful as fuck. And I cuss, I'm sorry. And you want to stand out and come into your power and combine all of those into one whole person. So welcome and joining me live today. And thank you for sharing this sacred space with me. So today is January 2nd, 2020. Huge shifts are happening across the board in your personal life, if you're an entrepreneur in your business, and if you're a healer and you are actually working with clients, you will feel a major shift also. And if you are new to magic, if you're new to becoming empowered, you will feel that there's a huge shift in your energy also. You being pulled into just letting go of things that no longer serve you and stepping into your female power. And let me see if we have any comments so far. So let's talk about the huge shifts that are going on in my business. I had a group, Facebook group, a pretty successful, Facebook group, about over 1,000 members. And it took me a couple years to build that. I was very active in it. We had lots of things going on in it. And the last few months I was being pulled to move into a different direction in my business. So I closed that group actually on the 1st, yesterday. And I'm doing all of my lives, all of my classes, all of my courses here on my Facebook page. So business page. So I'm moving more into that energy, which was a little bit scary. And a lot of you guys probably are just like, oh my God, I don't want to make this huge shift in my life. But you are being pulled to make this huge shift. And you have to listen to your guides, ancestors, gods and goddesses in the universe, whoever you call as higher source, to step into your power. If you're here watching me live, please let me know that you're watching me live. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and so I can give you some lots of love. Thank you for joining me live. So I know that you are here. We have a couple viewers, and I would love to know where you guys are from. So put in the comments where you guys are viewing from. So let's talk a little bit about my 5 tips on how to get your magical mojo back. So confession time. The last 2 months, I have been just feeling just really drained magically. And I couldn't figure out why, because I am female empowerment leader, a high priestess in the pagan community, and been doing this for 25 plus years. So I couldn't figure out why I was going through this burnout, because I was like, I live my life magically every single day. I walk with the goddess every single day. I am in tune with the energies every single day. So what is going on with me that I don't want to pick up my tarot cards? I don't want to do any meditations. I don't want to do any bone casting. I don't want to, set an altar up. What is going on with me that I am not wanting to do magic every day? Because that is not me. I knew something was not aligned with me. I knew something was wrong with me. My spirit and guides were pulling me in different directions. I wasn't opening myself up to listening anymore. I almost kind of dreaded it for a little bit. I was like, I just want to sit on the couch and just veg out. I don't want to do lives anymore. I don't want to do any posts. I don't want to do any engagements anymore. So what is going on that I don't even want to go to rituals anymore? And I am the ritual, queen. So something was going on that I was not feeling aligned anymore. And I was very frightful that I lost my magical mojo, and I was never going to get that back, because I live so much in magic, and what everything I do is magic, that I was terrified that I was losing it forever and wasn't going to get it back. So I had to take a couple of deep breaths, and I had to really reevaluate what I was doing. And here I'm going to give you some tips on how to get that mojo back. So I had to enter to this tip number 1. I had to energetically just be in receiving mode. And what I mean by being in receiving mode, that means that I need to connect more with my divine feminine and not so masculine energy, because masculine energy is about pushing forward all the time. And female energy is about receiving, taking in, being aware of your surroundings, and just being at peace and being still. There's a lot of power in being in still, instead of moving all the time. With the society that we're in now, we always feel like, fear of missing out, which is a thing. FOMO, which is you have to be going, you have to be doing, you have to be pushing, you have to climb that ladder, you have to be the best, you have to be, keep up with the Joneses, you have to go experience, you have to do this, you always have to keep going. And it's almost like society makes you feel guilty if you're not doing something, achieving something, moving forward. And if you're just sitting there in stillness, not doing anything, it's almost like society makes you feel guilty. So my first one is to remove yourself from pushing energetically. So as a business owner, I always felt that I had to keep going, keep pushing, keep motivating others. But I wasn't taking the time out to receive, because I was always moving forward instead of just being still and receiving. So the last couple months, especially if you were in my Facebook group, you were probably noticed I wasn't as present. Thank you for joining me live. If you're here, comment below where you're from so I can give you some shouts out. People who join me live actually get live shout outs in the group. So thank you for joining me. In the page. So thank you for joining me live. So let me know where you're from. So the last couple months in my Facebook group, I wasn't present. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't doing my magic because I was in that mode. I had to recognize that I had to be in that receiving mode, that still mode. So, especially after the holidays, you guys are probably feeling really exhausted, right? So remove yourself from pushing forward energetically, and let's just relax some. Let's just be still, and let's just be in the moment. So that is my tip number one. And don't feel guilty about not accomplishing things or not doing things. And if you hear something in the background, that's my little dog. Thinks she's tough shit, but she's not. She barks at everything. So sorry about that. So tip number two, how to get your mojo back, your magical mojo. Do things that make you happy. For me, I lost out on the things that brought me joy, the small things that I just had to let go of by the wayside because I didn't have time. And because I didn't make time, I didn't have time to bring stuff that brought me joy. It felt that my life was just so filled with just things and tasks that I had to do in order to get them completed. So if you have been wanting to do things that make you happy, do them. If you wanted to take a class, if you want to start painting, if you wanted to go kayaking, if you wanted, to go dancing, do those things and start incorporating the fun stuff back into your life. Because we forget about the energy that we need to be equal. We need to be serious, and we need to know when we have to have fun. So for me, it was vacations. I took off the whole month of December for sure. Went on cruises. I went on vacations to go see the Christmas lights. Lights bring me joy, even though I celebrate Yule and not Christmas. The whole energy around it just brings me joy. I still love to go look at cheesy Christmas lights. So, that's what brings me joy. So I make sure that I do things that bring me joy every single day. And I'm mindful of that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that also. So tip number 3, this is huge for me. Rearrange your magical space. And I do this, of course, with the wheel of the year and how it cycles through and changes. But I rearranged everything almost in my house. I feng shuied a lot of it. There was some corners that, the energy was just stagnant. I had to move things around. I put out new stuff that I had stored away that was begging to come out. I put up new plants. I just finished my new altar. You'll probably see back there. I brought in more light as far as taking off curtains. I spring cleaned. Well, you can spring clean, or you can do what I call the wheel of the year cleaning. And so I just had to energetically change the way that my magic was being seen by the universe. Because when I stepped into my magical room, which you were in my magical room now, it was the same for me. I was like, nothing changed. Nothing was rearranged. I was like, I need to change some energy. I need to shift some energy around. So I rearranged everything in the room. I took down things that needed to be put away, served its purpose, and things that needed to come out that needed to actually be present. So I did change that. Rearranging your altar, rearranging your entryway, rearranging your living room, rearranging your bedroom is huge. Your kitchen is huge. Put up a kitchen altar if you haven't put up a kitchen altar. Put up an entryway altar. Shift that energy so it's not stagnant anymore, especially for 2020, the new year. It's important that we recognize where the stagnant energy is, and we have to shift that. So look into feng shui. It's a powerful thing. Each corner of your house is dedicated to a source and to an energy, and if that energy or source is stagnant, then you need to rearrange it. So tip number 3 is to rearrange your magical space. Super important. Okay. Tip number 4, recognize the wheel of the year in the season that we are in. Okay. And what is the energy like? And this will tell you why you're feeling kind of blah, why you're just feeling unmotivated, why you're feeling like things just aren't happy in your life right now. You're just kind of stagnant. Look at the wheel of the year and what cycle we were in. For instance, you may feel like you're just not motivated. Why are you feeling unmotivated? Look at the wheel of the year. Is it a winter time? Is it the dark part of the moon? That's another thing that you need to look at is moon energies. Is it the dark half of the year? Is it what is going on with the earth that really does affect your body, your mood, your energy? For example, when I was in my little funk, my magical funk, I was like, oh yeah, it is the dark half of the year. No wonder I'm not feeling motivated. Now, I'm in Austin, Texas, so we don't really have a harsh winter. It's in the 60s, I think, today. So it doesn't really get dark and drab like in the northern part of the state or United States. It's kind of really snowy and cold. And you don't want to get outside. So you're not motivated to do anything but Netflix, chill, and, eat popcorn. So what is going on energetically with the wheel of the year that you are connected to? And then that'll give you a better understanding of why you're feeling like, not magically powerful. What is going on? So that is the time when you do inner work. That is the time when you're just like, this is why I'm feeling, unmotivated. I am in tune with the wheel of the year, cycles of the earth. And this will pass. This will, come out into the next Sabbath, and the energy will shift. You just have to realize that you just need to hang on until the view changes. So it'll shift again. Just this is part of being magical, is that you know your cycles, you know what moon phase you're in, you know what wheel of the year, the season that you're in. So live your life by the wheel of the year. So that is my tip number 4. Recognize what season we're in and how that affects you and how you can be productive and incorporate that season of the year into your practice. And tip number 5, be mindful of every single thing you do. Now, I'm going to tell you what I started to do. I always do morning practice. Well, I always try to do morning practice. I pull cards. Here's my routine, and this is why I changed it for 2020. Because I was just like, this is not working. So I would get up in the morning. I wouldn't even work out. I wouldn't even, I would go straight to making coffee, let the dog out, straight to making coffee, brush my teeth, blah, 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 blah. Straight to make coffee, pull a couple cards, straight to work for 12 hours. That's all I would do. So I shifted it this year into being more mindful of everything that I do. So when I get up, I'm doing more everything in more of a ritual kind of energy. And this is kind of circles back around to tip number 1, which is pushing your energy forward, right? Just doing and getting things done. There was no satisfaction, ritual, magic, anything in what I did from the time I got up to making coffee, to sitting at my desk, to producing videos, to producing content. There was no magic in it. I wasn't being thankful. I wasn't taking time out to actually listen to the process of what was going on. And I was just going through the motions. So I wasn't grateful for the electricity. I wasn't grateful for the coffee. I wasn't grateful for the nourishment or my doggy, or I wasn't grateful for, my life partner, Blair. I wasn't grateful for the food, or I wasn't grateful for the business. I was just going through the emotion. So it is important that you be mindful of every step that you take. So starting this year, take a drink real fast. Does anybody resonate with any of this that I'm talking about? If so, comment below. And let me catch up on comments because we do have some comments. Okay, Shell's from Missouri. So Shelley, is that super, super cold up there? Hi, Mariah. Thanks for joining me live. Yeah, everything hibernates and dies. Yeah. And that's kind of how you feel inside, right? When you're doing magic, you're just like, why am I not feeling like springtime and everything's fun and everything's flourishing and growing and becoming abundant? It's because it's the wheel of the year. It's the time for us to just hibernate. It's time for us to do inner workings, and it's time for us to look at what is going on internally. So, my practice that I started doing is I started to make sure that everything I do was mindful. And that meant that even from grinding my coffee. So I got up every morning, looked outside, opened up my windows, was thankful for, the sun, and did a little bit of meditation. Not huge, because sometimes people get really stressed out about meditation because they're like, I can't meditate for more than 2 seconds. And so it's all about releasing and not pushing, right? Which was tip number 1. So I started to get up. I started to do some stretching. Make sure I do some stretching before I even set my coffee or do anything. So I decided when I was standing at the coffee pot, just mindlessly half awake, sitting there, I was like, there's no ritual in this. I'm just standing here. There is nothing. So I decided to buy myself a hand kind of grinding old-fashioned coffee kind of thing, because I felt like I was getting out of tune with my everyday tasks. You go to the fridge and you get something. If you want something to eat, you put it in the freaking microwave and you're done. There's no connection for me anymore. There's no ritual for me anymore. So I wanted to bring that back into my magical practice. So I bought myself one of those handcrafted where you have to put the coffee beans in there, the whole one, and not the electrical one, because there's no ritual in that. So I want to bring more energy back into my practice, into my food, into what I do every day, what I drink, what I eat. So I'm buying myself a manual coffee grinder that you have to actually turn and crank, right? So you're putting energy into that. You're being mindful of what you're doing, and you can say a prayer over it. You can do some sigils on it. You can, whatever you want to do. So you're just getting into the moment and being mindful of what you are doing. So Shelley said, not too bad this year. It did snow recently. It's interesting you said that, because I miss snow a little bit. I don't want a whole bunch of snow. I just want a little dusting. So I know it's winter, because I do miss the seasons here down in Austin. We don't get a whole lot of seasons. So that was the one thing. Yeah, a hand grinder. Yeah, serious about coffee, because it connects me more to the beans. It connects me to my food source, and I'm going to talk more about that. And it connects me more into what I'm doing and what I'm drinking and the people who handled it, and how it was harvested and my intentions for the day. So as I'm grinding that, I'm like, what are my intentions for the day? I'm closing my eyes. What am I setting? How am I ingesting the magical properties of coffee? How am I going to bring that into my energy for the day, instead of just scooping it out, sticking it in there, turning it on, and just standing there mindlessly, you just stand there like a freaking robot, watching for it to go ding, 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 coffee's done, whatever. I don't want to do that anymore. So I started to be more mindful of everyday tasks, and I started to remove myself for things that are more what I call just mindless stuff, where you just, like I said, put stuff in the microwave or boil it and put it in the bag and it comes up. So I started making bread yesterday, and I'm just going to do less store-bought stuff. So as I was kneading, I had an audiobook going on. And so I was listening to this wonderful audiobook while I was kneading my dough and becoming very zen, very therapeutic meditation, kind of like as I feel the softness It's interesting because when you make bread, when you first make it, it's just kind of like rough feeling, right? When you start working your magic and kneading that and pushing, the stuff or combining it together and making it, change into bread, you feel it between your hands. You start feeling the energy of and feeling the transformation of this raw dough into this beautiful, soft, silky, workable, edible thing. And you're more in charge of the energy of it. You can set your intentions in it. You can write sigils in that we talked about. And, it was a work of art. It took all day to do. So instead of me just going to the kitchen, unwrapping a store-bought piece of bread, slapping some peanut butter and jelly on it and calling it a day, there was no magic in that. So it was important for me, and Mariah said I love making bread. Yeah. So it was important for me for 2020 to be more connected with what I do on a daily basis. And that means slowing down and being mindful of what you're doing, how that is bringing positive energy into your life. Is this the time to do magic? What are the magical properties that I'm eating, drinking, manifesting, doing, walking through? When you are in a field or you're in trees, be mindful of where you step, be mindful of where you're at, and run your hands through the trees and feel the leaves and the flowers and, the breeze. It's about being intentional and not just doing it just to get through to the finish line. And that is my tip number 5. And I started doing that for 2020. And it extremely shifted my energy to where I was like, I just don't feel like doing anything. I had to shift a lot of stuff in 2020 to be more mindful and be more thankful of what I was doing, and gratitude, and slowing down some and making more connections to my food, to my process, to what am I listening to, what am I watching, what am I doing, and let go of things that don't really bring the positive energy for you. If that's getting off of social media, or if that's just limiting your time on social media, looking at what you're watching. Click off of it if it doesn't bring you joy, if you're not learning, if be mindful of just not having stuff in the background. Now, for example, my mother and my parents, and I've learned this, but I had to readjust it. Whenever they were doing something, it doesn't matter what they were doing, they always had the TV on the background. No matter what it was, if it was shitty news, some murder, some, a horrible documentary, whatever it was always on. It was just mindless noise in the background. But then I got to thinking, it's not mindless. That's subliminal shit that you are listening to when you're doing other stuff. Turn it off. If it doesn't bring you joy, if it doesn't bring you positive intentions, if you're not learning something, turn it completely off, because you may think it's mindless. You may think it's just background noise, but it's not. Your subconscious is taking all of that in, whether you realize it or not. So let's change some of the stuff you listen to, some of the stuff you watch, some of the stuff that's going on in your life, and let's just tune in, right? What was that saying? Tune out, tune in, or tune in, tune out. I forget the saying it used to be. I think it was in the 60s. So let's change the vibration and change what we are listening to and what we are subjecting ourselves to magically. So those are my top 5 things if you're feeling like witchy burnout. Remove yourself from the pushing energy, brain garbage. Yep, for sure. You're completely right, Mariah. Remove yourself from pushing energetically. Do things that bring you joy and make you happy. And I want you to really look at things that you forgot about. Look back in your childhood, what made you happy. Rearrange your magical space. Change that energy up. Recognize what wheel of the year or what moon phase or what season we are in now and how that is affecting your magical practice. And tip number 5, be mindful of what you're doing and slow the fuck down. Pay attention. listening to things that are going around you. Okay, the signs kind of thing. All right, does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that you want to discuss? Got my new cup. I got this at the Carnival cruise because we went on a cruise. It's kind of cool looking. I like the color. It's my branding color, but I like it. So what are you going to be doing today? Or I want to not even, well, what are you going to start today in these top 5 tips that I'm giving you? What would you like to start today? So comment in the section below on what you would like to start, what you want to change, what you want to incorporate into your life. So I'd love to hear from you and type in the comments what you want to change. Mindful exercises, yes. I don't think I have that book anymore. I think I packed it up. So here it is. Hold on one second. Let me go get it for you. Okay. This is a wonderful book to get. See if I can get it up. I turned around and I was like, I should have fixed the back of my hair. That's what happens when I don't even look at the back of my hair. So this is a perfect book to get. It is called The Pocket Book of Mindfulness. Live in the moment and reduce stress. I love this one. Okay. So it comes in cool different things. You guys can see it. So I love this one. So you can get this on Amazon, but live in the moment and reduce stress. And that'll bring you back some magic in your life. And so really, if you think that you are really just in this mojo funk, magical funk, just write it out. Change some things in your life. Do some things differently. And change energy, rearrange stuff, and don't be so upset about it. It's a cycle. We go through cycles in life. As powerful witches, we know how to ride the cycles of change, cycles of life, and what is going on. So don't fret. You will get it back. You just need to write it out. You need to learn how to deal with it as far as manifest it, and learn how to change it for the good. It's really just a wake-up call. It's more like the universe is like, okay, you need to change some stuff. Doing things as rituals more. Yeah. Yep, everything is a ritual. And it doesn't have to be like a major kind of ritual, right? It can just be, like I said, just sitting there grinding the coffee and just thinking of what are the properties of the coffee that I want to ingest. It doesn't have to be this huge high magic. People get into the whole energy field of I have to do this huge, powerful ritual that takes 5 hours, and you don't have to. You can still have a powerful ritual just sitting there grinding your coffee, drinking your coffee, eating your food that you've prepared, and thinking of the magical properties that you're ingesting, and walking through, the woods. What are the magical properties of the leaves, of the colors, of the scents, of, the birds that you see, the woodland creatures that you hear? What are the magical properties that they're trying to tell you? It's about being mindful. All right, my witchy sisters, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the top 5 tips for magical burnout to get you motivated into changing your energy. So, like I said, I'm doing most of my lives and stuff on here now. So every Wednesday, I know we had New Year's Day Wednesday, so I didn't go live. So every Wednesday, catch me here, and you will get notifications So if you're in my Facebook group, thank you for joining me live, and thank you for sliding on over into my business page. So you will see me here and do all of my magic on my business page from now on. So, all right, my witchy sisters, witch on, and we will see you later on in Madam Z's space. Bye.